Oh, what is that? A chip on my shoulder? Now I know how Josh Richardson feels. Oh man, that was great. What an epic way to send a message to the team that threw you into a trade like you were nobody. Oh man, the story of this game was Jimmy Butler returns to Philly. Obviously, are we gonna boo him? Of course we booed him, man. But listen, I didn't expect it to be to that extent. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, the boos were unreal, dude. The last time I heard boos like this was when Kobe Bryant had to go back and play in Denver after he raped that 19-year-old girl. Can I say that on YouTube? Well, that's the last time I heard boos like this. I mean, it filled the arena every single time he touched the ball. And that's what's funny about it, because that's just so Philly, man. It's not like we booed the first couple seconds or booed his intro. Man, it was like the damn halfway through the second quarter, he's touching the ball and the arena's still filled with boos, dude. Every single time. That's just what Philly does. You know, Jimmy Butler's a nice guy, and I think he's a great player, and I think he's a good teammate too, but he just wanted to play in Miami, and we can't let him have that. Philly can't just let somebody live, dude. It's just, nah, man, you don't want to be here. You are the enemy. We boo you forever. I remember when I was a kid, I was at a Phillies game, and there was a player that played for the Orioles that they booed every time he came up to bat. And I was sitting at the game, and my parents, I'm like, why do they keep booing this guy? And we finally researched it, and it had something to do with him. When he was drafted, he came out and said he didn't want to play in Philly, and then his pick was traded or something like that. And 10 years later, Philly fans were still booing this guy every time he came to the plate. Philly never forgets. But listen, the real story of the night was Josh Richardson, man. Because he came out here like, oh, okay, Jimmy Butler's the storyline here? Miami just tossed me into a trade like I was nobody. Like I was nothing. Watch this. I'm going to go off. And he went off. He went off, man. 32 points, 11 for 15, 6 three-pointers. He was unstoppable the whole game. Spike Eskin had a tweet that said Josh Richardson had 32 points making $11 million. Jimmy Butler had 11 points making $32 million. You can't write better stories than this, man. I don't think Jimmy Butler was worth a max contract in the first place, and that's what got me about Miami. It's not like you were signing Kevin Durant, you know? It's not like you were signing Anthony Davis. It's not like you were signing a player that can take a bad team and make them good. Jimmy Butler's been on bad teams before, and they've been bad. He's a nice piece to have, but you need other stars around him for it to work. But he also doesn't play that great with other stars because he's so ball dominant. So, is there a solution? Can Jimmy Butler ever be a winner? I don't know. He has an interesting, unique game. I think if he gets on a team someday that has two legitimate stars and he's the third option and just the glue guy and the hardworking defender, the Draymond Green kind of player, Jimmy Butler could win a championship. But he's not the kind of player that's going to come and change your team and make them great. And that's what Miami did for some reason. And they gave up a young asset with potential through the roof in Josh Richardson. I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I'm pretty sure if you watched my video yesterday, I predicted this blowout. And I don't predict many blowouts with this Sixers team. But I said the Miami Heat are very turnover prone. They're 30th in the NBA in turnovers. They average 19 turnovers a game. It seemed perfect to me that if we bring our energy and capitalize on the turnovers and run the fast break, we're going to blow them out. And they don't have any interior anything. They don't have any interior defense. So we win the steals game. We had 11 steals in this game. We win the steals game. We run the fast break. And we get buckets inside. And there's really nothing they can do. Now, I didn't expect it to be a blowout like this. I'm not going to act like I knew it was going to be a 40-point blowout. Let's be honest. But what really happened was Miami couldn't throw a rock in the ocean, man. That's the true story of this game. If Miami shot their normal percentages, we had a chance to win by 5, 10 points. Might have been a close game. But they couldn't throw a rock in the ocean, man. They came out like 1 for 12 from 3 in the first half. They had like 30-some points in the first half. Man, it was atrocious. It was bad news bears for the Miami Heat. And we were making everything. We finished the game 48% from 3. So it was a tale of one team finally catching fire and getting hot, and one team being absolutely ice cold and couldn't make anything. Now, we were playing great perimeter defense. Ben Simmons, Josh Richardson, Matisse Thybulle, Al Horford, even Embiid was closing out guys and getting hands up. Tobias plays, above average defense for what people used to say about him. We closed out on shooters, made the shots tough, and they missed damn near all of them. So Joel Embiid finally played a back-to-back. The medical staff finally got off his damn back, gave the fans what they want, let the guy get in shape, let the guy play basketball, He's 7'2", 265, I understand that, and you want to prevent injuries, but he's 25 years old now. You can't prevent injuries his whole career. What's he going to be, 30, and you're finally going to say, okay, now we're going to let him play? No, you got to just let the guy play, man. And he looked good in the back-to-back. 23 points, 11 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. And let me just tell you, there's still nothing I love more than a Joel Embiid block off the backboard, man. That swat, he takes the air out of the ball. He hits the damn thing as hard as he can, and he yells when he does it. It's just great. It reminds me of that old school playground ball where, it's just a block. It doesn't even count for points or anything, but it's a morality thing. It's a dominance thing. It's a man-on-man, I'm better than you thing. And somebody puts a shot up that's so weak and light, and you're almost disrespected by it. And you're like, are you serious right now? Smack that thing as hard as you can. That's what he does, man. I love it. I love it. Tobias Harris poured in 19 points. Al Horford had 16 points. Listen, a lot of people are getting on Ben Simmons again because he finished the game with 4 points, but most of those people didn't actually watch the game. They just look at the box score. I'm not saying I don't want Ben Simmons to score more points, okay? But this team is stacked. And when all 4 of these guys are getting buckets like this, do you really want Ben Simmons out there jacking jump shots? I don't know, man. You know what I mean? I want Ben to pass the ball, rebound, get out on the fast break, make amazing no-look assists, do all that stuff that he does. I would like for him to get to the rim more. I'd like for him to finish with 15 at least. But when other people are this on fire, it's Ben's job to keep handing him the ball, and that's what he was doing, man. He had 7 assists in 22 minutes, so I can't really be mad at Ben Simmons when everybody's firing off the way that they were. His main job was to keep giving Josh Richardson the ball, and that's what I love about Ben. He's not going to hurt the team by trying to score when everybody else is running, man. He wants to give everybody the ball. And there's just things about his game that make him great outside of the box score, outside of the points. His defensive effort is unbelievable. If you really watch the way that he moves, the way that he switches, the way that he anticipates where everybody's going to be, it's unreal. He's ahead of the game all the time. And on the offensive end, when he's running the floor, he sees everything before it happens. It's like when he's running a fast break, the court in front of him is a chessboard, and he sees it all before it happens. The pass that he had to Matisse Thybulle, where he's running the break, he's basically parallel with everybody at the half-court line. But you can see him looking like this. He sees Matisse Thybulle. He knows he's going to run to the corner, right? He sees another shooter back here, I think it's James Ennis, running behind him. Okay, there's a defender, Kelly Olynyk, right here. He jumps in the air, and he could have just passed the ball straight to Matisse, but that would have given Kelly Olynyk time to close out on the shot and make it difficult. He jumps in the air, looking at Matisse, looks back at James Ennis, and passes it this way, making the defender go this way. He literally controlled Kelly Olynyk's defense by looking away by making that no-look pass while he was in the air. That just plays like that alone tell you how great Ben Simmons is. He has an ability that you can't teach, and we just have to respect it and love it. Oh, man. I got a little bit into that, man. There's nothing I love more than a Ben Simmons no-look pass. I mean, you could just pass the ball straight, but when you control the defense by looking away and nobody knows where the hell the ball's going, but he knows where it's going because he sees everything, it's just great, dude. It's just great. What I took away from this game was the chemistry, the fluidity of this offense. Everybody's finding their places. Everybody's finding their roles, man. This is what this team had the potential to be, from the beginning. We are just, selfish, inconsiderate, impatient fans who wanted it to be 40-point blowouts from game one, and it just takes time for everybody to get comfortable, everybody to know their spots, everybody to know get to their shots. It just takes time. It's a chemistry thing. To balance Joel Embiid, Josh Richardson, Tobias Harris, Al Horford, Ben Simmons, to balance those guys scoring and who has the ball and who doesn't and when they get their shots off takes time. The chemistry was just great tonight, man. It looked like everything was flowing, and this team's starting to figure out what they need to do to be effective. Obviously, like I said yesterday, it's a make-or-miss league, and when you're making shots, everything's better, Josh Richardson was just ridiculous, lights out. On the flip side, the Miami Heat live and die by the three-point shot. They're like the 2016 Warriors, except they don't have Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. You can't live and die by the three if you don't have those guys, because you're going to really die when the ball's not going in. I love Tyler Hero. He looks great. He had a horrible shooting night and finished with 20 points. When he's on fire, he can get in the high 30-point range. As a rookie, he's a really nice player, but you're not going to go far by living and dying by the three. Bam Adebayo got abused by Joel Embiid. I mean, and this is what's crazy about Embiid. This is how big and strong Embiid is. Bam Adebayo is 6'9", 255. Like, in real life, he's a damn giant. He is a gigantic person. But on the block guarding Joel Embiid, he looks like a little man. It's unbelievable. And Embiid just backed him down under the paint, turned, gave him that big-ass shoulder, and knocked his ass out of the way, put the ball in the hoop. It's like, there's nothing you can do. How does a man make 6'9", 255 look small? The best thing about this game was how we came out in the third quarter, because after the first half with the route that we were making of the Miami Heat, up by 20 in the first quarter, up by 26 at halftime, I think. I forget what the points were at halftime, but in all of the years past, in typical Sixers fashion, we would have came out the third quarter with no energy. We would have turned the ball over like crazy. We would have been flat, and we would have let the other team back in the game. Remember a couple years ago when we put up 75 on the Warriors in the first half, and we thought, this team's going to beat the Golden State Warriors when they were at their heyday. And third quarter happened, and we got ran out of the building, and we gave up a 20-some point lead and lost the game. It happened so many times with those old Sixers teams, man. So many times. So I'm so happy to see them up by 20 and come out in the third quarter and say, hell no, we ain't doing this. We're putting our foot on their throat. We're not putting our throat on their foot. We're putting our foots on their throats. We're going to win this damn game by 100. We didn't let up at all. And that's how you have to play in the third quarter. We came out 10-0 run, made the lead 30 points, and it was history from there. That's all I got, man. This was beautiful. Jimmy Butler's return couldn't have been written better. All the boos, all the just Philly being Philly was amazing. Josh Richardson with the chip on his shoulder just balling out with 32 points. And this is how this team can play on a nightly basis. If we see this team for the majority of the rest of the season and we go into the playoffs with this kind of chemistry, who knows how far we can go. Thank you guys for watching. My name is DJ Eastwood. This is Run It Back. As always, hit that subscribe button if you like talking Philly sports. Give my video a like and a thumbs up to help me out in the YouTube ranks. Now my coffee's cold. I didn't even drink it. I was talking the whole time.